Welcome to ABL Advisors video series featuring executives from the commercial finance industry. I'm Michael Togoley, the publisher of ABL Advisor. Today, my guest is Daniel Liechtenstein. Daniel is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Hypercore. Daniel, nice to see you again. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, happy to be here. Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the platform today. And I think the best place to start off, Daniel, probably is a little bit about the company. And that is, before we get into anything, Hypercore has just closed a $13.5 million Series A funding about a month or so ago. I think it was something in that
Yep.
range, and announced that what you're calling the AI admin agent is what you've named it, which is a new category in loan servicing. Maybe the best place to start is what's broken about the category that exists today from your perspective, Daniel, and why does it need to be replaced rather than just improved?
Yes. So I think generally the problem that we have identified is trust. There is a very little trust between the different stakeholders and the lenders. So if you think about the world of admin agents in the context of private credit, it means that you have the lenders, you have the borrowers, but in the middle you have the admin agents that takes over the deal as soon as it gets closed, and making sure that it's being uh, um, uh, performing as expected and all parties are happy. But in reality, what you see is a lot of duplicated work, a lot of miscommunication. And if you think about the data itself, it's not accessible and not in real time. And that creates a lot of frustration. And over time, a place where the lenders, they have very little trust uh, uh, of the numbers that the admin agents provide to them, which cause them to essentially do the same work again. So you're both paying for the service and you're still doing that on your own. And this is the world that we try to solve. And to our point of view, we need to completely rebuild it and not doing more of the same. We want to do something completely different.
Okay, so in layman's terms, how would you describe the AI admin agent? Explain it to
Yep.
us a little bit.
Yes. So I think the business model remains the same. Hypercore is your admin agent on deals if you're a credit fund, but how it's being operated is completely different. So instead of relying on like the old world of emails, data rooms, shared folders, Excel files that are being shared, some limited reporting packages, it's all being deployed through our infrastructure, our core system, but the system is also operated by AI agents. The current term is AI agents, but essentially, these digital workers will be performing a lot of the tasks that today just people are doing and performing that manually. And of course, our team of professionals will be there to make sure that everything is properly controlled with proper oversight of the numbers. So it's not like you are compromising the accuracy to gain some efficiency. It's you're gaining both efficiency and the same level of um, accuracy.
Okay. Well, most AI agents, from what I understand, in financial services, sort of sit on top of existing systems. You just said it's a new platform that operates differently, and those read and flag and make suggestions and do those type of things. And you're describing an AI agent that basically operates inside the loan's life cycle in some ways.
Yep.
What does that actually look like in practice? For example, payments or maybe some covenants, any reporting that's required. Where does it make its first dent? Where do you see the evidence of this the first time?
Yes, the first time would be as if you think about the life cycle of the deal, is to book it. So you're in essence providing the even just the executed agreement, and the AI agent picks it up, understands what are the terms, structuring the deal, and provides you a funding summary for your approval. And waits because the task that the admin agent, the AI agent needs to perform is to actually book it, not just to give you that. So it waits to your approval. It could be our team of experts that will review it and then send it to the lender for approval, or directly to the lender to review it and then approve. As soon as the deal is being approved, then it also books that in your core loan management system, so your system of record. So that's the kind of first interface. But any action that is being triggered by external inputs or internal events, such as certain covenants that you need to monitor every month, the AI agent will pick up that task and make sure that it's fully being completed. So the concept is, and this is what we are developing, is giving the full understanding of the definition of done, what the AI agent needs to do in order to say, okay, there's a covenant breach. What does it need to do? And it can be as custom as loan by loan basis, or
Mm.
it can be in the context of the accounts, or a certain company will do something different than the other credit fund. And that's our job. This is how we build the technology to make sure that it's flexible enough to handle all these variances within the realm of what are those different tasks that it needs to perform.
So when you think about that platform, for example, if I'm an asset-based lender or a factor, for example, are they two different animals in this situation, or is it sort of the same platform that's been customized to different types of lending?
Yeah, it's the same technology. Um, but it's very much focused also on what we as Hypercore are focusing on. So it's not like day one we will say to the market, yeah, we cover every type of credit strategy. It should be first and foremost of work um, good enough where we have proper ways to evaluate the job of these AI agents. And only then we will say, okay, now you can work with it. But the technology remains the same. Like it's no different. The admin world, and this is like our thesis, it's very similar across all direct lending strategies. It has its own flavors, but the core functions are the same.
Okay. All right. So loan structures, they can be standardized, but there's some very rarely are they. They're not very much always cookie cutters type of situations. There's bespoke terms, there's negotiated carve-outs, there's exceptions that are built into transactions. They're buried in these credit agreements very often. How does the agent handle these off the edge type of cases? And when an error does occur and happens inside of a live loan, how does the accountability get assigned? How does that work?
Yes. So we've been around, we've seen these different terms, and you need to separate the the technology into two layers. One is the, let's call it, calculation engine. This is a deterministic system. There's no AI magic here. It's a rule-based system where you want to produce exact numbers every single time if the input is the same. And then you have the AI layer, or the workflow layer, where agents operate. They perform tasks, they understand what they need to do, but every time that they need to interact with the numbers, they will interact with that deterministic system. So there's no like calculation that we expect the AI to do. It will use the deterministic system. And we've been developing it over time to support all these variances. And whenever there's a new variance, we will make sure that it is incorporated as part of that um, calculation engine. Uh, Nevertheless, the way we are implementing the AI agents is very similar to like regulated environment. where you have a certain control layer. What it means is as soon as a task needs to be performed, you need to have a proper log of all the actions that happened. You need to have evidence to why this is the action that the agent decided to do. And essentially, whenever there's approval, somebody needs to approve it. So having those controls in place. It's very similar to when you think about like SOX environment or SOX compliance. Today, people are creating these controls in place and they are providing evidence like screenshots, files that somebody approved. But we're kind of taking that 10 steps forward where all the context, all the um, footprint is digital. So
Mm,
it's already baked in into how these agents are working. So it's not like you're losing control, it's actually the other way around. We're increasing the level of control into what is going on.
okay. All right. Now, loan administration has seen different ways of technology. There's been a lot of advancements, a lot of changes going on, core banking, workflow automation. There's all kinds of things that are going. One of the big things has always been document management, for example. We've seen a lot of that, but none of it gets fundamentally changed how the work gets done. It really doesn't change that in many ways. What makes AI agents different in this time, and why does the timing matter that this is available today? Is it a competitive thing? Is that what it's all based on?
Yeah, I think AI did not exist in the way it exists today 3 years ago, not even a year ago. And it continues to surprise us what it can be done. And I think finance is one of those um, domains where today AI technology is very much focused on. Make sure, or not to make sure, just to build new capabilities and automate some of the things that required like heavy coding, heavy system design. Because the thing is, you need to have a lot of context to understand how to do certain actions, even though it's been pretty standard. Like loan admin is not like a new business, but every deal has its own context, and people have been, um, you know, gaining that knowledge for 10, 15 years operating in the space. I can even share you an example. I had a call with somebody that operates in loan admin, and he said like the way I was taught how to deal with the deals that I'm managing is I was printing the loan agreement, those 300 pages document, and I was reading it through. Like that was my assignments when I was a junior team member, to read it and understand, and I was accumulating that knowledge over time. But today, if you interact with AI agent that has enough context, it's like you're gaining the most experienced person in this field right from the start. So, okay, you have the best person in the field already. Now, what you can do, and now think about a team, a department of experts that can actually understand how to behave in certain cases. So, I think this is why it's fundamentally different. You're incorporating a memory that exists in people into something more systematic so you can build on top. Think about the risk of a key employee leaving an organization with this institutional knowledge that all of a sudden disappears. Like you don't have this problem anymore. So this is why it's fundamentally different. But also from technology standpoint, technically, you can do things that or you just couldn't do in the past, and it just continues to improve. So like I don't know where it still goes. Like I have my own ideas, but I don't know.
Well, it's like having an arsenal of knowledge that never goes away, only gets bigger and more
Yeah.
knowledgeable. And it has the knowledge of everything, not just one person. So it's interesting. So where does Hypercore go from here, Daniel? And let's say in 5 years, and what does loan administration look like when AI agents are fully normalized and across the industry? What do you see out there?
So I believe that Hypercore is focusing on the like true infrastructure layer, like making sure that like our business performs at like in the best way will require us to build a lot of infrastructure that today doesn't exist. And hopefully that will advance the market in a way that things can be done closer to real time. So, for example, um, simple things like draw requests for large deals. I'm not talking about uh, small amounts of capital. I'm talking about like big facilities. These are days, sometimes weeks processes. In in an ideal scenario, it can be resolved in a matter of minutes. So access to capital, for example, um, 10 times better transparency into the data for investors, which will provide like a different type of access to capital, but like from the other side. And I think it will advance the overall market and make it more and more um, innovative, creative, and hopefully move faster. It's growing pretty fast already, but I think technology will give it another boost. And that's not only my thought. There are a lot of VCs that are looking into this space, and they understand that there is like a really we're in this unique point in time where things are being built today that will then be utilized for the next 10, 20 years.
Mhm. It's very interesting. We're not at the infancy of it, but we're still in the sort of the beginning in many ways, and that's
Yeah.
only going to continue to improve loan processing that we all need to improve on a really daily basis. I mean, it comes down to margin at that point and how efficient you're going to be. That's all I have for us today, Daniel. It's a very good and very interesting conversation. Did I miss anything today that you wish I'd asked you about?
No, I just invite everybody to start thinking about their infrastructure, who they want to partner for the next 20 years. We're now in a point where your existing partners might not be enough in the new world. So I welcome everybody to open up their thoughts, and maybe there are new partners that they can work with.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Daniel, and we'll be back to you at some point in the future to catch up and see where things have progressed. But thank you very much for joining me. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.